Well, Marion Hampton's climbing up draft boards like crazy. This guy is inching closer and closer, not only to the middle of round 1, but he's inching closer to being a top 10 overall pick. Maybe the Chicago Bears take him at 10. That's the bold prediction we have here on the channel, which apparently makes some people a little uncomfortable. Smitty, Hampton at 10? Where were you on JD5? Oh, Smitty, Hampton at 10? Little bold. Did you like Jahmyr Gibbs this high? Oh, yeah, you did. Smitty, Hampton at 10? What do you think? You predicted Penix Jr. to be a top 10 pick? Oh. Look, it's easy to get this stuff wrong. No one's saying I'm going to nail this top 10. No one's saying Hampton has to be a top 10 pick. No one's saying he's a guarantee to be a top 10 pick. But if you think the Bears, if Jeanty's gone at number 6 overall, aren't going to take or consider taking Hampton here when Ben Johnson and the Lions did that with Gibbs during the Bijan Gibbs draft, you're out of your mind. And there's climbing suspicion that is what's going to happen. And here's this report we'll break down in a second. And boy, do I have a treat for you. Maybe the best video this channel has ever produced. The Ashton Jeanty video is here. I'm wearing my Ashton Jeanty shirt. We've got it in the merch store here on the YouTube channel. Just click on store. When you're on my channel, you can purchase the pixelated Jeanty, and you can walk up to somebody at a work party and just go, hey, and they go, what is that? You know, oh, you don't know ball. Get out of my way. You walk up to the next guy. He goes, dude, that's Jeanty. And you say, and you start talking ball. Best conversation starter in the game. Go copy your Jeanty shirt now. Let's talk about Hampton. Let's talk about Hampton and Jeanty. Let's talk about how they both are top 15 overall picks, one of which will be probably top 6, and Jeanty going to the Raiders is the expectation at this moment in time. Anything could change. Maybe a team trades up like the Denver Broncos into the 5 spot. Maybe the Bears move up to 5 to step over the Raiders at 6 to get Jeanty. But Jeanty's stock has gone up tremendously since he ripped his shirt off and did a workout in front of the entire NFL. And Hampton, because of this climb, is getting pulled up higher and higher every single day. We're going to go over the report right now, go over the Jeanty video. You know what? Let's just hit the Jeanty video walking into the intro. We'll hit it a couple times. Don't worry if anybody's, going to straggle in late, we'll play it for him. I give you the Ashton Jeanty drop, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy this beautiful number.
Are you currently sitting at home and wondering, why am I such a loser? Why do I not know how to get chicks? Well, there is a solution. Draft Ashton Jeanty in your upcoming fantasy football drafts, and you'll immediately start growing hair on your chest. Those little testicles of yours will finally drop, and even though you still live in your mom's basement, you're going to immediately start getting hot chicks, all because you drafted Ashton Jeanty. Now, do you want to be this guy? Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a hot pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick. Or this guy. Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Jeanty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Jeanty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks. Alright, put down the Hot Pocket Petrified Pita and start smashing Jeanty ADP, and watch less Thundercats reruns and more of the Fantasy Football Show with Smitty, you bozo.
Live from the
FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Next $20 hauler gets that video played immediately. And it's on repeat. $20 hauler, repeat. $20 hauler, repeat. Do it live. This report coming out from Jordan Schultz. North Carolina running back Marion Hampton continues to skyrocket. Not climb, skyrocket up draft boards. One executive I spoke with, says Jordan Schultz, that he compared him and Jeanty to the Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs class, saying both will go very early. This is what we've been saying for a long time, that Hampton's going to climb and climb and climb, and damn. You know, we might be seeing both these guys drafted inside not only the top 15, but the Chicago Bears are going to be in a predicament if this guy Ben Johnson's been clearing way for just using this early pick at 10 to go get his RB. Jeanty was kind of thought to be a player that would likely fall right around this territory. Now, with his workout, ripping his shirt off, showing the world how much of a beast he is, he's climbing everyone's draft board, and Jeanty's being talked about as, what if he goes higher than 6? What if a team trades into 5 like the Denver Broncos? What if the Washington Commanders and Adam Peters are quietly working behind the scenes to say, you think we aren't going to go after a talent like Ashton Jeanty? Who knows? Don't act like you know, because things are crazy, and this guy's value's through the roof. This is the Adrian Peterson, the Saquon Barkley, the Barry Sanders of the running back class. So we don't know, but if Jeanty if this number 6 overall pick stays put, and the Raiders are picking here, and no one trades up above them to draft Jeanty, I do believe there's about a 60-70% chance the Raiders take him. In that case, Hampton is Ben Johnson's best hope of trying to capture or recapture what he had going on over in Detroit. Not saying I wouldn't take Trey Henderson later, but I don't think Trey's lasting to the second round. I think Trey Henderson could climb into the bottom of round number 1. I think we might be looking at a year where 3 RBs finally again go inside round 1, and the hater's going to tell you no. The hater's going to tell you no. He's going to say, this can't happen, running backs don't go early. They're programmed. These haters are programmed to just regurgitate over and over and over. And I'm telling you that Ben Johnson's going to think this one through really, really, really hard. And he's going to say, maybe I need to grab him now. Hampton's climbing. He was bottom of round 1 about a month or 2 ago. He's since climbed into the late teens, right? About half a month ago. Now, Hampton's climbing based on several reports we're reading. Again, the one right here, Hampton's climbing into the top 15, 16, 17. So it's just a matter of, will this be an early trigger pulled, get a running back move by Ben Johnson like the Lions did with Jahmyr Gibbs? And Gibbs going where Gibbs went was not any earlier than Hampton going 10. That's the same kind of shock value you're going to have with this on draft day. And in retrospect, people are going to say, oh, yeah, I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. Jeanty to Jupiter.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it.
To Jupiter.
Jeanty to Jupiter. We've got
the Moon Men dropping loads in outer
Hampton's
space.
on what, the Marsman?
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Marsman. Hampton on the Marsman, probably landing in a really, really sound and solid environment. No doubt about it. In my mind, he's going somewhere good.
In space.
We talk about like Hampton going to Detroit, but if he doesn't go to Detroit, I'm sorry, the Lions. If he doesn't go to the Bears, Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my, Smitty, what are you doing? If he doesn't go to the Bears, I think there's a really good chance. What is going on with my screen here? Let me see if I can put this back to where it was. I don't know. I'll have to fix that later. Here's the board. If Hampton doesn't go 10 to the Bears, there's a really good shot the Cowboys strongly consider him at 12. Even if you've heard the Cowboys are going in a different direction, smoke and mirrors. Certainly going to be looked at this point, especially if Jeanty goes at 6, it changes the mindset, changes the value. Jeanty going at 6 puts Trey Henderson in a position to where he might just actually go, Henderson might actually go in the first round. I think Henderson climbs into the, why can't I fix this damn graphic? McMillan, what are you doing to me? This guy's already causing problems. I can't even move. I can't even adjust his graphic. It's like locked in place. Let me get rid of this damn thing and adjust it. Come on, McMillan. He's already causing problems. This is my fear with McMillan. I can't even adjust this. It's like frozen. McMillan's frozen. Every time I move it, it goes really, really slowly. He's already causing problems. I can't even do anything with it. It's just sitting in the way. There it is. It's adjusting. That's from what I did like 5 minutes ago. Okay, I'll put that back right there. Don't go anywhere, McMillan. Let me lock that stupid freaking thing. Okay, so if let's say Jeanty goes 6, the likelihood of Trey going to the Washington Commanders or a team really late in this draft, even if someone trades up, is a lot higher, because if Jeanty goes 6, Hampton goes earlier. The earlier Hampton goes, the more likely Trey is pulled up. And I love Trey Henderson. If Hampton goes, let's say 18, 19, 20, somebody trades up into that pick, then Trey Henderson probably falls to the top of round 2. It's basically just a laws of where have we seen a running back go lately, and we need to have one drafted because they're flying off the board. Think of it like if you're in a fantasy draft and no one's taking quarterbacks, they tend to fall a little bit. But if all of a sudden somebody grabs 2 quarterbacks, a la if Jeanty goes 6 and Hampton goes 10, what do you think the teams are going to do that think they can get the guy they want late in the second round, middle second round, whatever? They're going to start getting a little antsy, and they're going to go ahead and take their guy a little bit early. That's why I believe strongly, I truly believe strongly that Trey Henderson goes in round 1 if the 2 RBs go early. Let's open up the phone lines. I'll hit the video as soon as we get another $20 super chat. I will hit the Jeanty video one more time. Not to mention, if anybody wants to sponsor the damn thing, you know, all $100 haulers, you guys can choose what video you want to sponsor and have your name attached to. I think we settled on 3 names at the most on any one video. So if you want to grab that Jeanty video before it's gone, you know the drill. Dial into the show. The phone lines are open. Dial in. Let's talk Hampton at 10 or somewhere around there in the teens. You can argue that. You can tell me where you think he's going to go. Let's talk about Jeanty at 6 and what that does for Trey Henderson and climbs him up the board, obviously, if that goes down. Dial into the show. The phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. Again, and this other part of this report says Hampton, who's been his combination of vision and balance and toughness, visited with the Cowboys on Friday. He also has several other visits lined up following series of private workouts already completed. So this is something like literally the Cowboys, even if the Bears don't take him at 10, he could go 12. Like, if anybody's saying he's not going to go as early as 10 to the Chicago Bears, what are you talking about? He goes 12. What are you going to say? Oh, that's 2 picks later. He could go 10 or 12. Those are the 2 most likely, I think right now, the 2 most likely spots for, unless a team trades up like Denver. And Denver could say, I want Jeanty. They can't trade up to get Jeanty. He goes too early. They think they're going to play around with the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the Denver Broncos to trade for Jeanty. But once he's off the board at 6, they're going to, I think, put it into overdrive and say, where can we trade up to go get this man, Hampton? And I'm not saying the Denver Broncos necessarily trade up into the top 10 to get Hampton, but if the Bears don't take Hampton at 10, I believe the Denver Broncos get on the phone and they start going after every pick that's on the clock. 11? What do you want? What do you want for this? Oh, we're taking blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're not taking Hampton? Okay, we'll talk to you later. Call up, who's at 12? Call the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, no, Dallas, we're gonna take the worst player possible. No, they're probably taking Hampton, Ted McMillan, or the worst player possible. I'm not saying Hampton's the worst player possible. I'm just saying that the Dallas Cowboys, that's, you know, I could see him making a big mistake, or they take Ted McMillan and it's a pretty good pick. But Ted's never going to live up to the expectations a lot of people have for him in Dallas, which is why I'm cautioning everybody away from thinking he's the locked-in wide receiver 1 in this class. He is not. Travis Hunter is the number 1. And the number 2 running back or wide receiver in this draft class is Emeka Egbuka. And then we can have a conversation about Ted McMillan, in my opinion. But if Dallas doesn't take him and they don't want to trade the pick, then guess what? Denver Broncos might get on the phone again and go, hey, Dolphins at 13. What do you want for the pick? Because they're going to try and get Hampton, I think. The Denver Broncos seem very, very, very fitting for a Hampton or Jeanty draft selection. So that's just how I kind of see it. Am I going to be right? Look, for any of you early Monday morning quarterback people out there that come in, and my chat is always blowing up with haters after the live stream, you know, and I've got 2 or 3 bozos that continue to tell me in the chat, in the chat after the live stream, how wrong I am about Hampton potentially going at 10. Like anybody's going to predict the top 10 even remotely close to 100%. You're not. And when one domino drops in a different place than you predict, the entire top 10 changes for you. You can't just say, oh, I didn't have Graham going 5, and let's say Jeanty goes 5. The entire board is jostled up. You don't even look at your board the same anymore. People are so weird about NFL draft content. They're weird. They get so hot and bothered, and they think they know. They think they have it all figured out. They think they can come in and school you. They know nothing, Jon Snow. And let's go over to Justin. Justin, you're live. Hit me with your best shot, pal.
Hey, so I want to send in a $50 hauler to do a $10 12-man and to do a $25 4-man.
I can do one of those, but I can't do both of them tonight. We're talking about this news for a while, so I can do one of them for you, but I can't do 2 drafts. But
I can send in the 25 for a $10.
Sure, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to super chat on that. $10. I'll probably jump back and forth though, because we're hitting this topic, but I'd be happy to jump in one while we're talking. 12-man. How much was it? A $10 12-man, or you just want to go into a big board?
$10 12-man.
Okay,
like
so for anybody that wants to be partake in this draft, we're not going into a big board. We're going into a $10 12-man draft. So if you go to the link that I'm dropping in the live chat right now, this is the link right here, or yeah, here's the link, and then the link inserts code Smitty for you. I'll pin that in the live chat right now so that you guys can jump in. Link has been pinned right now. What you're going to do once you get into the Underdog app is you're going to select, at the bottom, you're going to have draft selected. At the top, you're going to have lobby selected. And then instead of clicking home, you're going to click that NFL football and option. And then once you get to the NFL option, you're going to scroll down to the $10 draft section. And we're going to jump into the 12-person, not the slow draft, which is the bottom option, the 12-person draft. Are you ready to jump in? There's 3 entrants in it already. Click it.
I'm ready, Smitty. I'm already in there.
Okay, so $108 in prizes. This is not a big board, so we all stay together, all 12 of us, the entire season, and the winner gets like $96 or whatever the heck it is. So this is one of those drafts. 4 more to start. 3 more to start. Okay, now let's get back to this topic while we wait for that draft to kick off. Hampton at 10, or where else does he go? Dallas at 12. Hampton to Chicago at 10, or other. Give me your prediction, Justin.
Can you say that one more time? My bad.
Hampton, what's your prediction?
I got him going 10th overall.
Yeah, it's so funny how many people are they're like triggered by it. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean,
why would anybody be triggered by it though? When Ben Johnson just and the Lions proved, and I know that wasn't all Ben Johnson, and probably, I don't know how much Ben Johnson had pull on making that Gibbs pick, but I'm sure he was super involved because he's the offensive coordinator over in Detroit at that time. So he's involved.
Like my thing is just like he's such an athletic freak, and like I think a lot of the times when GMs and head coaches or whatever, they can't make up their mind on something, what they default on is like which guy is just a freak, which guy is like the guy that like, well, he ran as if he was like 30 pounds lighter than his weight, like teams like freaks,
All right. Let me go to Travis real quick and see what Travis thinks. Travis, where do you have rank your Hampton spots in order of what you think the likelihood is?
So I agree. I do think Jeanty will probably go to Vegas. Makes sense.
It feels
after
like
that, I think Denver might try to trade up. I don't know if they'll be able to get ahead of Chicago or not. I also wonder if Chicago, I think it's likely Chicago takes a running back there, but I also wonder if they wait and either trade back into the first or take one with that 39 or 41 pick, depending on who they like. But yeah, for Hampton, I guess I'll go Broncos first, Chicago second, and after that, I think it's a toss-up whether Dallas decides to go for one, or Pittsburgh tries, or if for some reason he falls below that, I think someone might trade back into the first to try to grab him.
guys, if you want to join this draft, go to the Underdog app, go to the NFL tab after you're on draft and lobby, go to NFL tab, scroll down to the $10 drafts and click not the slow 12-man draft, but the one right above it, this 12-man draft, $10 entry. These typically don't fill, man. It's part of it is a lot of people don't know how to find it, and then even if they do, they're not really interested in so I don't know what you want to do on this one, but I don't think these are the easiest things to fill. We just end up wasting a lot of time. So we can try it for
refresh yours, dude, because mine is filling. Like mine says like 4 more to start. Does yours not say 4 more?
Yeah, but it said that for a little while.
I don't know. Like when we first started it said like 7 more to start. I don't know. Give it a little bit more time, I'd say, because like people came in.
All right, we'll give it a try. Here's the draft order. I'll make this a lot cleaner later, but here's the NFL draft order rather than just having it duplicated like I had it.
I think too, like I think the Bears, or whether it's Denver trades up or the Bears, I think Hampton should go in the top 15 or 20 picks at the worst, but and I think he probably will. But a lot of times too, you see these teams get overly obsessed with, the defensive side of the ball or the line, which I know those things are important, but I mean, the game is so offensive driven now. Like when we talk about how you can build a defense and build the line, to get a Hampton on your team is more valuable in my opinion.
Yeah, the crazy part is like, yeah, I mean, this running back crew is special, and you're gonna be able to coach up and find those gems. And not that there aren't some gems at the running back position too, there are, but I just think that Hampton and Trey Henderson, and like Scatterboo's interesting. I like him a lot, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. What's everybody think in the chat? I like the Cardinals for Hampton. I don't think that's happening, John. They just drafted Benson, and they're not giving up on Benson at all. They like Benson a lot. Benson was really good down the stretch, 2 yards per carry were good. You never know, but I don't think we're gonna see that happen. Where else do you guys think Hampton's gonna go here in the NFL draft? We got landing spot is everything except for. Yeah, that's true. BBQ, speaking the truth. Joseph's run game helps Caleb too. Well, that's why I think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to make this move, whether it's in the second round or whether it's in trading back if they don't want to take Hampton that early, and they'll take their chances. Who knows? They could go Scatterboo at the top of 2. You never know. It's hard to say. We got 2 more to start. Go to the NFL tab after you're on the Underdog app. Underdog, promo code Smitty. The link is pinned in the live chat. The link's in the description of the video. Once you get into the app, click the draft tab at the bottom, the lobby tab at the top, then click the NFL football, the NFL tab, and scroll down to 12-man or $10 drafts, 12-man, not the slow one. There's 2 of them. Not the one that says slow, the other one. We're sitting in there. We need 2 more to start. And this is kind of like, you can almost think of this like a league. We're all together all season long. We don't divide up later. So jump into this draft and you'll kind of be in a league with your boy Smitty. Justin dropping that $20 hauler. Appreciate you. My 2 bold predictions. Marvin Harrison Jr. over 1,300 yards. Remind me to put this up at the end. And 100 catches. Caleb Williams over 4,500 yards and 35 total touchdowns. Okay. We'll We'll definitely rest of the draft money. Appreciate you, Justin, dropping the super chats, my boy. And we got 2 more to start still. Phone lines are open if anybody would like to call in and make their prediction. Rock out. Where does Hampton end up? Drop it like it's hot. Here we go.
I think it'd probably go to the Bears. If not, I probably, without a trade up, maybe the Saints if they want to have a successor to Kamara. But if someone traded up, probably the Broncos.
And what's the latest he could naturally fall in your eyes, Hampton? And guys in the chat, please give me your prediction as well. What's the farthest Hampton could fall to? What team would make sense that he would fall to the very furthest? So far we got the Cardinals. I don't agree with that one, but we got one person that thinks the Cardinals. Does anybody think he could fall to the Broncos at 20? I don't think he can. I think the Broncos trade up to like 14, 15, 16, whatever, and the Cardinals or the Falcons or the Colts gladly move back.
Yeah, like late to be 20.
Yeah, I think that's probably what happens if he doesn't go 5 or 10 to the Bears. I think the Broncos say, hold my beer, and go up to 13 or 14 or 15 and just grab them.
The only reason they wouldn't is if the Broncos like Trey Henderson more. And they feel, we'll just sit and take Trey Henderson.
Which I would.
Like that.
I'll be honest. I like Trey more.
Yeah,
everyone knows I like Trey more. I like Trey more than Hampton. But Hampton in a better spot will be a better player than Trey in a bad spot. It's just the nature of fantasy football. It's Arian Foster. Arian Foster was every bit as good as Tomlinson from a fantasy perspective, but he couldn't hold a candle to Marshall Faulk or Tomlinson in terms of physical skills, or Barry Sanders. Was Emmitt Smith as good as Barry physically? No. Come on. He wasn't. But his situation made him as good. His situation made him as good. Didn't matter. That whole debate we always had on Barry and Emmitt. It's like you can't separate situation from player. Go ahead, Travis.
It would be out of character for him, but I wouldn't sleep on Pittsburgh either. They need a running back. I know Warren's there, but
I think Warren's going to have his parade rained on. I do. That's why I traded him in a dynasty league recently. I love him, but I think he's going to have his parade rained on. Number one, I don't know it's that out of character, but I also think Arthur Smith's still going to running back by committee this thing. So I'm just not feeling the Warren vibe right now, even though I loved him. Last year he was a moon man. I wanted him to get the work. I still want him to get the work, but I think it's hopeful thinking. And if he escapes the NFL draft, then we'll circle back around. But I think that's a smart way to look at it, not a cowardly way to not predict something bold. I think there's some tangible reasons why we should be afraid of Arthur Smith and the Steelers kind of screwing this up. It looks like we filled... Oh, no, we didn't. We got 2 more spots still, guys. If you want to join this draft, it's like a league. We're going to be together the entirety of the weeks 1 through 17. Go to Underdog, open up the app, hit the draft tab at the bottom, the lobby tab at the top. Instead of home, you're going to click NFL, the football, and then scroll down to $10 drafts, and you're going to jump into the mother freaking second to last one. It should be. It says 12-person draft, but not the slow draft below it. Not the slow draft below. All right. By the way, the $20 hauler that Justin dropped is going to ignite another play of the Ashton Jeanty video. So everybody on the phone line, please real quickly remain quiet while I smash this video one more time. Every $20 hauler will replay it tonight.
Hey, are you currently sitting at home and wondering, why am I such a loser? Why do I not know how to get chicks? Well, there is a solution. Draft Ashton Jeanty in your upcoming fantasy football drafts, and you'll immediately start growing hair on your chest. Those little testicles of yours will finally drop, and even though you still live in your mom's basement, you're going to immediately start getting hot chicks, all because you drafted Ashton Jeanty. Now, do you want to be this guy? Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a hot pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick. Or this guy. Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Jeanty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Jeanty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks. Alright, put down the Hot Pocket Petrified Pita and start smashing Jeanty ADP, and watch less Thundercats reruns and more of the fantasy football show with Smitty, you bozo.
All right, we are up. The draft has begun. The Jeanty drop, dare I say, is probably the best video I think we have personally. It's my favorite anyway. And I'm wearing the pixelated Jeanty, so pick that up in the YouTube merch store. Just click on store on my YouTube page and you'll see my apparel sitting right there. You guys like the Jeanty drop? How are we feeling about it? Hello?
I like it. Where'd you find Dom?
Yeah, that's good.
How much you pay Dom?
I know Dom. I know Dom. Dom's my boy.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, Dom, the name Dom, it actually is, he's not Dom, but he's playing Dom. But Dom's like, Fast and the Furious Dom. It's like driving fast cars. That's where Dom comes from. But yeah, that one's the great one. That's the great one. All right, I'm on deck here. It went Jamar Chase, Bijan, Gibbs, Barkley, JJ, CeeDee Lamb on the clock. Puka's there. Neighbors is there. BT is there. I want to pick the man of the hour, but I don't have the draft slot for it. I'm not going to condone it. I'm going to go early Neighbors. I love Neighbors. I think it could be the dark horse one at the wide receiver position. So we'll smash that. I want to smash Jeanty ADP, not destroy it. So we're going to go ahead and wait on that. Unfortunate I didn't get the 10 or 11 pick. Yeah. Okay. Great having you all here. Hit that like button, please. Anybody else want to call in and discuss the Jeanty and Hampton values? I mean, dial in. Hit the like button. Hit that phone line. Dial in. I'd love to hear some of the negative, Noahs that are clowning the idea and concept that Hampton could go at 10 to the Bears. What makes anybody think that's not in the wheelhouse of ideas? What makes anybody think that? They literally revamped their offensive line without touching the draft so far. What makes anybody think that they might not go in that direction? It's crazy to me. I understand if it might not be what you want. It might not be what you think will ultimately happen, but how are you going to clown on that? It's wild to me. I've got Christian McCaffrey available. I got Ladd McConkey available, which I think is way too early. I never take him this year. I'm not taking him one time. It's just too high for me. JT's really solid, but I keep smashing the Bucky ADP when I get it there. I do mix it up outside of here, but I do like taking him on the live streams because he's our boy. And I don't want to.
I was thinking about Irvin.
I don't want to condone not taking Bucky at the right time. Which I got my Bucky pixelated right there. If anybody wants to check this.
I was thinking about Irvin.
Look at this. Look at this one. Look at this one. Bucky to the moon. I put on my uniform, whatever player we're talking about now. Christian McCaffrey and Lamb paired together. I have Bucky and Malik paired together. The 8 spots got Nico and Derrick Henry paired together. The 9 spots got BT and AJ Brown. The 10 spots got Amon-Ra and Drake London. The 11 spots got Jeanty and Bowers. Jeanty's officially climbed on to the 11-12 ADP territory. He was a 13, 14, 15 overall player, but the workout, ripping his shirt off, just making teams, just clamor over the idea of getting this kid in their backfield, has climbed him all the way into the 11 pick. He is now a first-rounder lock. And then the Puka Devon Achane combo at the 12 pick, the 11 pick had Jeanty and Bowers. McCaffrey and CD, like I said, paired together. The 5 picks got Justin Jefferson and Lab McConkey. The 4th pick has Saquon and Kyron Williams. The 3rd pick has Gibbs and Tyreek Hill. The 2 pick has Bijan and Garrett Wilson. The 1 pick has Jamar Chase, JT. JT fell very far. And Jacobs. That's a really good start. I like that team a lot. Let's see what this 2 pick does, because he's got Bijan and Garrett Wilson. That's a solid start. Very solid. You know, in our community, you're not going to see Kyron Williams fall into the 3rd round, but normally you will see him fall into the 3rd round. This is just a kind of a, you know, it's our crew here. We're a bunch of snipers. Best player available on the board right now, it looks like JSN, who's been climbing into 2 lately. He's got a 2nd round ADP, but he's not going in the 2nd round with this crew because of all the sniping going on. It shoved him down. But JSN has climbed into round 2. McBride's a fantastic pick. McLaurin's a little early for me. I'm not saying I don't love him, but 3rd round, we paid so much less last year, and I'm not about, you know, circling in and grabbing that value. I'm just not. McBride's a fantastic pick here. DJ Moore is okay. Marvin Harrison Jr. I do like, but yeah, I like it here. Breece Hall, like that pick here. Mike Evans feels a little risky. Lamar, I like going quarterback in round 4 or 5 versus Lamar here. Unless I'm taking Josh Allen here, I'll definitely wait it out a bit. Devontae Adams is climbing into round 4. Remember that guy that came into the live stream and kind of nice pick with McBride? I think here I'm probably going Breece Hall. I tend to do that. I tend to get a lot of wide receiver Kyron and Hall, wide receiver Bucky and Kyron, wide receiver Kyron and Bucky and Kyron, whatever combination of Bucky, Kyron, and Hall with Neighbors or with Lamb or with JJ. But remember that guy came into the live stream, I want to say it was like a couple weeks ago, when I said Adams in the 4th round, and I'm not even like advocating for it. I was just mentioning it like, hey, you take Adams in round 4. You know, he's like, Adams in round 4? Adam, Smitty, I can't believe you're telling people Adams in round 4. He's in the 3rd round. His ADP is 35. He's not even in the 4th round anymore. And I'm not condoning that. I don't like that value. Too high. 3rd drafted player. Even though this is the 3-4 turn, you could look at it like it's the 4th round. But I can't swallow the 35 overall ADP. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I just don't like. That's way too high for Adams. I like Adams a lot. Late 4th, mid 4th, it was pretty good. And it's not even that bad if you set yourself on the idea that he's back to back right here. You know, I get it. Like, let's say you took JD5 and Adams. Like, it feels okay. And did he just do that? He just did. So Puka, HN, JD5, Adams. It feels okay. But 33, 34, 30, it doesn't. 3rd drafted players wild. Jeanty, Brock Bowers, James Cook, Hampton. I like that. The Puka, HN, JD5, Adams is a solid team. It looks like number 10's using the best ball wide receiver playbook, which is not going to work out. I'm just telling you right now. And that's the JMO. Is that Knapp? Is that Knapp sitting there at the 10 pick? Because he took JMO Williams in the 4th round. I think JMO in the 4th round is not good value. You know the thing that we didn't talk about last night, and I'll beat a dead horse on this when we do the ADP values video for the 40 and beyond. We did 1 through 40 last night, and I'll redo that video, or I'll do a part 2 of that video from 40 to 80. And what I really should have, I'm going to time out here. Where are I've got, what do I got so far? Bucky. Let's go. I'm going to go Worthy. What I should have said to everybody was, in your non-best ball, you're not paying 4th round value. I've looked it up. Even when I got off the live stream, I was looking at ADPs. And everyone and their mothers take this kid in the 5th and 6th round. Like, JMO's going in round 5 and 6 where we love him. That's win a league material. That's what this show's about. We're a big JMO community. We were all about JMO last year. I don't think a single content creator pumped up JMO more than I did. JMO was a must have, just like James Cook was a must trade for. Wasn't a must draft, I'll admit that, but as soon as weeks 1, 2, 3 started kicking off, it was constant. Go get him. Go get him. It's gonna be a big year for him. And he ended up scoring 20 total touchdowns on the entirety of the season. JMO and James Cook were those two players that were constantly talked up throughout the season as go trade for. Don't let him sleep. And so we love JMO, but 4th round's crazy. It's crazy. But you don't have to do that. Non-best ball, JMO goes in round 5 and 6. So that's what I should have said yesterday. This is a fake Miss Smitty says, $2 holler. If it was real Miss Smitty, I'd get a bigger super chat than $2 holler. Why you give up on our guy Bijan so quickly, babe? I don't know. Don't know what makes you think so. What makes you think we gave up on Bijan? Fake Miss Smitty.
Bijan with an O.
I know. If I was a final, Miss Smitty would know how to spell it right. Okay. If I was final actual rankings, fantasy would be boring. If it was final actual rankings, fantasy would be boring and easy. You got to call your shots. No, Freedom. You don't. I mean, you do and you don't. Doesn't mean you take It's like saying I'll take Bucky in round 1. I'll take Bucky at 5 overall. I'm going to call my shot. You don't need to do. You got to use logic, ADP, and value. You can't win doing that. You're going to throw a bunch of money away if you start scooping up JMO in round 4 as a potential 3rd or 4th option for a team. I'm not going to get into this again tonight. I appreciate the comment, but this is a nonsensical conversation that we had way too long last night. I'm not going to even talk about it again tonight. Anybody calls in, I'm not even discussing it anymore. Smitty, Hunter or Hampton in the rookie draft if you were early first. Hunter by I don't want to say a mile, but close to it. And Miss Fake Smitty.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Take away Fake Miss Smitty's Bijan card.
So it was Hunter your 1.02?
No. If I'm in a rookie draft, it's Trey Henderson.
So is you 3?
Not necessarily. Ted McMillan? Or who you say? Ted McMillan or Hunter? Hunter. So it's going to go Jeanty, Trey Henderson, Hampton, then probably Hunter. But I definitely could go Hunter if I'm going to go Mahomes here because I
just said Hunter over Hampton, though, in a rookie draft.
When?
For the question?
What question?
J-Buck said Hunter or Hampton in a rookie draft in the early first.
Let me pull it up. Oh, no, I thought you meant team. I thought he meant team. Like, what is a team? If you're drafting as a team, am I taking when I'm in the early first? Hampton goes, okay, I see what he's probably saying. If he's being fantasy, like you gotta, when you say early first, I'm thinking like NFL drafts. Like Hampton's going 2 or 3, so it's like the top of the first. So if you're talking fantasy, this is how I'd rank it right now. I'd rank it in fantasy: Jeanty, Trey Henderson, Hampton, Hunter. Hunter could climb above, probably not both Hampton and Henderson because one of them is going to go somewhere fantastic. But I think Hunter could easily climb over 1 to become the 3 overall, right behind one of those running backs, Hampton or Henderson. But I don't see myself taking Hunter over one of the RBs that's not named Jeanty. In terms of an NFL team, I'm drafting Hunter all day long over Hampton. So that's what I was answering. But you might be right that was what he was asking. I switched.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure which way.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You're probably right. But early first made me think like NFL, but because the way it worded to me, like you're drafting Hampton at 2 or 3, so it's not like you early first. I figured someone would say, you got the 1.2, who do I take? What if Hunter doesn't play offense? What if the sun doesn't rise tomorrow, Shamrock? What if I wake up and I've got no legs? What are we doing, Hunter, in the 6th round? Who is this? Speedy, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Hunter doesn't go anywhere near. What are you doing? Speedy.
Always Speedy.
You're always reaching on players like 5 rounds, bro. What's he doing back there?
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah. What's up, my
What do
guy?
you think about my 0 running back?
I'll have to look at it. Are you in this draft?
Yeah, number 9. It wasn't my plan at first, but turned into it.
Man, I don't know what to do here other than to probably go. I just don't like these picks here. I'm probably gonna roll with Monty. It's a nice pick. I don't hate Monty here. Monty's my 3rd RB. It's the 6th round. I don't hate that at all. What's Hunter's ADP? What the hell's Speedy doing?
92, I believe.
90. Took him
91.
Took him
91.5.
1/3. 1/3 too early. Fake Miss Smitty says, don't call me fake. Boo.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
But yeah, I was at number 9.
We'll take it away. God, that was Speedy. That was 1/3 too early, bro. It was 1/3 of his ADP too early. You took him in the 60s instead of the 90s. I'm not saying don't reach in this with this crew like a round. Like what in the hell? You can't draft good teams not taking advantage of ADP. You got to be smarter than that with your ADP, bro. J Buck says, so Smitty, so Jeanty, Henderson, Hampton, Hunter. After those 4, is it just No, I love Egbuka. Egbuka might be. I shouldn't say might. I draft Egbuka in fantasy before I draft Ted. And if I'm an NFL team, I do the same thing. Just like it's a little different. There's some discrepancy sometimes. Like if I'm an NFL team, I take Hunter over Hampton. But in fantasy, I'd take Hampton. Probably Hampton or Henderson over Hunter in fantasy, but I'm taking Hunter as an NFL team. That's really the only discrepancy because he's such a home run, and no matter what, you're landing it. You know, if he doesn't work out at one position, you just throw him in the other. Like he's such a lock. That's why the Browns are going to take him. The Browns are going to take him at 2. Of that, I have almost no doubt at this point because he's a can't miss, and the Browns need that. The Browns are scared to death. You know when you get to a point where you don't know what to do for whatever reason. You trade bad, you're just not thinking straight in the league or whatever, and you don't know what direction to go, and you're off. Or at work, maybe somebody feels that way sometimes where they just can't make a right decision. They can't even think clear. The Browns are in that state right now. They got to pick a can't miss player. They can't afford to screw it up. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about the Browns taking Hunter or even considering passing on him. I just don't think they will. And that's what leaves Shedeur available with his value rising and the Giants, knowing. And as BBQ asked the other night, or today, was it today or the other night? It was the earlier stream, I think. Well, let's see here. Hold on.
Ben.
Damn. I'll take Egbuka here. So the other night, or I think it was today or the other night, BBQ said, wouldn't they be better off taking Hunter or somebody to save their jobs? But the truth is the opposite. You take a guy like Shedeur Sanders and you just show promise. You're resetting your fire date. You're getting an extension of a year. Not an extension, that's a bad word to use. You're getting a pass on getting fired that year. You're getting like a mulligan. because you have a player that no one's expecting you to, make the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. If you show promise, even if you lose like 7 really close games, then it's like all of a sudden you save your job by having that rookie quarterback. J-Buck, yeah, I don't like sitting back and taking leftovers, bro. I move up. If you can get that 1 pick, that 2 pick, it's going to be a great move. Okay, let's see what Speedy's been reaching on lately here. He's got Puka, Devon Achane, JD5, Adams, Quentin Judkins, Travis Hunter, Jalen Warren, Mark Andrews. The 9 pick, you want me to look at the 9 pick? BT, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Jalen Hurts, Kenneth Walker, Chuba Hubbard. Yeah, you know what? I was going to say risky, rock out, but you crushed it with the RBs, bro. That's fantastic. Walker and Hubbard are really, really good running back 1 and 2, considering that approach. I like it. Justin, what pick are you at? Justin has Ashton Jeanty, Brock Bowers, James Cook, Amarian Hampton, Jalen Waddle, Addison. It's a pretty interesting team. Ayuk. It's pretty solid. On the clock. Tight ends are there.
Yeah, I kind of got forced into the not taking right back.
I'll go ETN here. ETN's risky, but to a degree. But he's climbing a little bit. But he's going still in a territory where you miss on this, it doesn't hurt. You can still win a league. Zach said JMO round 4. What about it? I don't know what you're trying to say here, Zach. It's not a good ADP for him. ADP can help you draft rookie talent in later rounds, stockpiling talent. Draft around ADP. You manipulate ADP to the best of your ability. You use ADP against your league mates. You don't necessarily draft. If anybody thinks when Smitty says draft best player available that I'm saying something along the lines of take the highest ranked player on the queue. No. You're taking. You got to use like in the case of Speedy, you taking Hunter at freaking 6th round when he goes in 9 or whatever. You're not using ADP to your advantage whatsoever. Like he could have waited until, where did he take Hunter? Is round 6? He could have waited until this. We said he was going at 90 something. He could have waited until this 84, 85 turn, and that would have still been like a whole round early. But that's not using ADP to your advantage at all. That's really throwing away an advantage and opportunity to grab a player that is ranking higher and then still getting Hunter as your sleeping giant player instead of forcing him into your starter role. And what happens if he doesn't get the wide receiver work that you want him to get early on? Then you're screwed instead of like being able to wait because you took him later. You got to use ADP to your advantage, bro. It's there to help you dominate other people's mindsets. That's what it's there for. Who do I take? I've got an idea who I want here. I don't know if I love this team. I like it. I don't know that I love it. Jalen McMillan, I think he could be a very, very solid player. So my team so far, let's see if I love it. Mahomes, Bucky, Hall, Monty, ETN, Malik, Neighbors, Xavier Worthy, Emeka Ibuka, and Jalen McMillan. I think it's pretty good. I like that. All right, let's see who's on the phone line. I don't know. Justin, you there? You're in the 11 pick. You're on the clock, right? How do you
Yeah, I'm with you.
How do you like your team?
I like it. I went kind of like bargain shopping a little bit on the wide receivers. I'm kind of betting on like youth there a little bit, especially with like Waddle. I mean, I like Addison. I understand he has JJ McCarthy throwing to him. Like I even liked him at Pitt, and UFC is the second one he went to, right?
You don't. Yeah, well, you don't
like,
have JJ McCarthy throwing to him yet. You might.
Yeah, might. Like, it's kind of an unsure situation. Like, I'll admit, but I don't know. I just feel like he's been at like multiple different college programs. He's played great. I felt like he played great both his years. You know what I'm saying, in the league, and I'm just a big fan of Jordan Addison.
Speedy, what ADP does Fields have? I guess that makes sense because you come back around, he won't be there. Okay. Fields has been climbing a lot lately, unfortunately. There's so many Fields haters out there. It kind of sucks that people are getting on the train. Yeah, Gump never called back last night. He was really upset about that Detroit Lion conversation. He never called back.
So Smitty, we didn't know whether like you put us in there or not, but like myself, Gump, and Tebow all got put in like this weird like purgatory type of room. It's like all of a sudden we couldn't hear you.
I was there
and
too.
We were like,
I was there too.
Anyone...
I just hung up.
Yeah, he's got a hang.
I was like, but yeah, we just had like a conversation like with each other, then like just went back, and I personally went back and watched the rest of the live stream or whatever. But I was like, yeah, that's weird.
That's funny. I don't love this pick. I was getting a timeout, and I needed a tight end. I like Njoku, but I just don't know who's throwing to him. Is it going to be Kirk Cousins? Will it be Shador? Will it be... Who knows? He always gets hurt. I was going to time out, so I had to kind of grab him. I needed a tight end. So Mahomes, Bucky, Hall, David Montgomery, ETN, Neighbors, Worthy, Egbuka, McMillan, Jalen, and Njoku. Not bad. Time to talk down Fields. Matto, you mean to lower his ADP? Like an advantageous talk down? Yeah, Fields is going to not... Who is he? I thought he retired. Was anybody shocked Julio Jones retired? I was like, is he even... Like, I had no idea he was even in talks to of not, like, he's not playing. Like, why do you need to announce your retirement? It's been a while. I thought everyone was like...
what guy I thought he'd be? I thought he would be like one of those guys that like goes to the CFL and goes to like the XFL and is just like, hey, I can still play NFL. Hey, I can still play.
No, I don't. But I just didn't know what was up with that. Like, I mean, I've been at my rankings on the fantasyfootballshow.com for a while. Like, I don't know how this was something we didn't already know. Like, is Brett Favre going to retire next? It's weird. Rate your fifth pick. Justin Jefferson, Lab McConkey, JSN, Joe Burrow, Kamara, Connor, Tracy, Pacheco, Travis Kelce. Not bad. McCarthy. Yeah, not bad. I think you're living and dying by two older running backs in Kamara and Connor, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Not my favorite combo. And Bigsby got sniped for me early. Otherwise, I would take him here to put with ETN. Typically, when I draft ETN, I'm always going to draft the duo. I guess I'm going to go Likely here so that I think he could be a breakout tight end this year. So Njoku and Likely, at least I'm covered at the tight end position. Megatron still play? No. You can't still play, bro. Just like Adrian Peterson at one point just couldn't play anymore. It was very painful watching. Very, very painful watching Adrian Peterson. The Cardinals always get guys that are either, they still got a couple years left, like Kurt Warner. That was awesome. Hopkins had a little gas in the tank at first. But, you know, getting Adrian Peterson, Emmitt Smith, Cardinals have had everybody. But when Adrian Peterson stopped playing football, you know, well, it was weird. It was like so hard to watch. It's like, come on, that's Adrian Peterson. You can't tackle him. Like, what's going on?
Especially because he kept doing it with so many different teams, like playing pretty well. When it finally
he played okay.
It was weird.
He played okay, but yeah,
right.
Megatron could come back. It always feels like that because you know he walked away on top, so it's like he walked away too early. Him and Andrew Luck, I don't know. You only get to do this for so long. Andrew Luck, part of it was health, and I can understand that. But Megatron, I mean, he probably should have played a little bit longer. I think he'll kind of, as he gets a lot older, regret it. Because, you know, you just don't have a big window to do it. And maybe you grow tired of it because you played it since you were a kid. I get it, but it's still kind of wild. Let's see, my receivers.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, winning a championship must not have meant all that much because he could have easily talked his way out of there, demanded a trade, but just walked away.
Keenan Allen, he's going back to the Chargers, is what it sounds like. I mean, he was in a meeting with them weeks ago. There was a picture of him. His noggin was in the way of Najee Harris photos. When Najee signed, Keenan Allen was at the facility. The word was, unless it was a lookalike.
Fat Najee picture.
But yeah, the big Najee photos that we were debunking. So it's, you know, the word today too was that the Chargers are very open to Keenan Allen. So Keenan Allen will be a Charger again.
Makes sense. Good spot for him.
Aldi said
away from lad too much.
Yeah. Aldi said, I think Tua will regret playing this long. I mean, maybe, but he's made it really clear that he'd rather, you know, essentially go young. You know, maybe he regrets it really far downstream, but he's like, I'm not going to live scared. You could get hit by a truck walking out your front door. So I'm going to go out there and play football. That's kind of his mindset, but I don't know. He might live to regret it. I don't disagree, but if something gets that bad, he might not even know what's going on, you know. That's, I think, the way these guys look at it at a young age, like, hey, you know, this is my chance, you know. And some people do it for their family, and there's a lot of other things to consider. But yeah, I mean, it's a crazy sport, man. You know, if you had a kid that was in, like a boy that was in high school, it'd be a tough call, you know, to be honest. Say go play football. I mean, as much as I would want, you know, my kid, if I had a son in high school right now and was thinking about that, I don't know how I would feel, because it feels, you know, it feels like almost hypocritical to be like, don't play football, but, you know, given what I do, but I don't know that I would want him to. I don't know. What would be cool to have Kruger analyze final rankings to starting ADP week to week. We're gonna have Kruger do a lot of things. He does some things really well, and other things it's just basically repeating what I say, and, you know, hyping up the show guys. And sometimes there's not as much of he's really good at finding information, but he's not necessarily good at analyzing something. So I don't know that we're going to find ways to make them, solid, help in a solid fashion. But it could be something along those lines, sure. All right, let me see. I like Jalen Coker a lot. I think he's one of the best later 13, 14 wide receiver picks. I think he could easily unseat my wide receiver 3. Like, Coker could be my wide receiver 3. I truly believe that there's that upside there. So Egbuka, McMillan, Coker, kind of a light crew, I think a lot of people would say. But I like all 3 of those guys so much, I think I got a great wide receiver 3. Monty's a fantastic running back. 2, again, if this wasn't Snipe City, I would have Tank Bigsby instead of Benson, but Benson's pretty good too. Is Gump going to call back in? Gump, are you calling today? Kyrie Boston, you're live.
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
Yeah.
I got on the show a little late, but I started it off by checking it out first because I had to get caught up. I didn't get to watch the whole show, though, yet.
No worries.
I just wanted to ask you about Hampton.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you about how do you do at the campine? He went so high up in the draft.
Wait,
I
what?
wasn't expecting that.
What?
He exploded at the campines.
I can't. What
did he do with the 40? He was killing.
You talking about the combine? You saying combine?
Yeah, the combine.
Oh, it's not like you said tampon.
I said campine.
Campon? Like, what's the
I'm thinking of camp.
Bro?
All right, my fault.
The campon.
Combine.
Is like you're thinking like training camp and combine combination?
Yeah,
like, what's
training
this guy?
camp.
Can someone translate what the hell's
was.
going on here? Did he just ask me for some paper products?
Right, Smitty. I'm putting training camp and camp combine together.
Yeah,
my fault.
He had a great combine, and and he climbed up a lot of boards just off of that alone. But the truth of the matter, and you keep confusing though, where I expect somebody to go and where I value them. I've been finding that out about you. You think that when I put Hampton here, this is my ranking or something. This is the predicting the NFL draft. Like I like.
Okay, so you think other running backs might perform better than him in the long
Yeah, I
run?
mean, why would my NFL draft prediction have to mirror my actual belief in their talent? You know what I mean? Like you got to look at what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. You're just predicting where they might go in the draft. I get you.
Yeah.
All right, because the combines and how teams are looking at it. Yeah.
The combines.
The combines.
What are we doing back there, bro?
Combine.
Oh my God.
No,
Trey Henderson. This is like I said, the Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders debate, the Arian Foster, LaDainian Tomlinson, Arian Foster, and Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk was 10 times the running back that Arian Foster was. 10 times. But were they equals in fantasy? Yes. Unfortunately, for Tomlinson they were, or Faulk they were. That's just the nature of a situation. So again, Hampton going 10 doesn't mean he's my number 2 running back, but this is my prediction. I'm not here predicting what I want fantasy wise on an NFL mock draft. But I think Trey Henderson in Denver is by far and away the better player than Hampton in Chicago. I think Trey Henderson in Washington at 29 is by far a better player than Hampton in Chicago. I think Hampton in Denver is by far a better player than Trey Henderson in, let's say, Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh, but that's crowded. That's a running back by committee. That's Jalen Moore in there. And so I don't know that I like that, because there's 2 pass catching backs right there. So it just depends on what happens. If Trey Henderson goes to KC, I'm excited, and I think we're gonna have like some propped up excitement. But we got to remember what happens to running backs in KC sometimes. It looks really great. We all get excited, and then all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, this is not what it seems. Trey Henderson could go to Minnesota, which in year 1, Hampton in Denver would blow away Trey Henderson initially. But if Aaron Jones got hurt and you got Jordan Mason there, like a lot of things can happen, that you end up regretting wishing that the NFL draft would approach, because when it approaches, it can take away your Christmas. You know.
I'm excited for this draft, man. Can't wait. It's probably one of the most exciting drafts in years.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, bro. It's gonna be exciting. But again, it's gonna crap on someone's. It's gonna rain on your parades at some point. Somebody's parade is gonna get rained on. You guys have been sniping left and right. I don't love this as my backup quarterback, but I had to take Sam Darnold. Everybody's been scooping up their quarterbacks like crazy. It's going to be an exciting draft. From a receiver perspective, last year was the cream of the crop. From a running back perspective, this year is going to be like the Gibbs and Bijan draft. From a tight end perspective, this is going to be probably this is going to be a good draft. I mean, I think Bowers alone makes last year golden, but you know, I think the Kincaid and Laporta draft, like that felt like it was going to be an amazing draft, and then it kind of wasn't at this point. But I think Laporta bounces back big time. I think he's a top 3 to 4 tight end this year. All right, Kyrie Boston, anything else before I kick you off the line here, pal? Appreciate you.
I was just going to say that I was really excited about the offensive players, but I heard this was going to be a real deep defensive draft too. Yeah, I know we don't really talk about that on the show.
No, we do.
Defense, but
it should be pretty good. It should be pretty good. I think the defensive players later, I think it's so deep that you could get away with waiting until round 2 and still get a top 3 player at the position. You know what I mean? Like you could easily find a gem you like and walk out of round 2 saying we got a round 1 guy. That's because I think a lot of these offensive guys are going to jump those. Like Matthew Golden's going to go in round 1. Igbuka is going to go in round 1. Ted McMillan's going to go in round 1. Hunter's going to go in round 1. You're going to have maybe 3 running backs going round 1. You're going to have at least 3 quarterbacks going round 1, I think, or at least 2, but probably 3. It kind of depends. I mean, you look at the quarterback needy teams, and there's a way that as soon as you get through, like the Indianapolis Colts at 14, you're kind of in like no quarterback's going to get drafted territory unless the Steelers step in. You know, so it gets kind of tricky because you think somebody deserves to go, and they do deserve to go, but there's no team that needs it. So it's kind of a wild situation. All right, Kyrie Boston, we'll see you later, bro.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too, bro. All right. How many receivers do I have? I guess I need more receivers. Let's go. I like Bond. Isaiah Bond's a pretty decent rookie. We'll go Bond. All right, let me go over to Rock Out. Rock Out, final thoughts. Rock Out.
Yeah, I just hope Hampton goes to a good spot and he's able to prevail. And I think if he doesn't go to the Bears, someone might trade up for him like Denver.
Yep. All right, bro. Later.
Cool.
Kyrie Boston. Oh, you already said some final thoughts, right? All right. Kyrie, appreciate you. Justin Rush. Final thoughts, pal.
Drink water. Stay in school. All jokes aside, love drafting with you, buddy.
All right, man.
Any night we can do it. I love doing it, man.
Appreciate you. Thanks for the super chats. Later. Travis, final thoughts.
Yeah, so if Hampton does go in the top 10 or 12, it's almost a given that Henderson will go by the end of the first round, in my opinion, too. Because, like you said, teams start to get itchy, and especially, with all those teams at the top of the second round, several of them could use a running back, and so someone's going to trade back in or grab them, like Pittsburgh, maybe something like that. I was going to ask, though, outside of, the top 4 or 5 receivers, is there anyone that stands out to you, that you really like whether it's a Trey Harris or a Jalen Noel or Jaden Higgins, or is there anyone you really like?
Probably Jaden Higgins. That's the guy I like probably the most of. I like Bond a little bit. I like Jaden Higgins a lot. I think he's a really good prospect. I think the truth is landing spot's going to just tell us who the guy is. I think all those guys are just so dependent on a landing spot. I mean, how many times did we draft players? Trying to think of a really good example, or even an example of not a rookie, but like drafting Jordan Whittington and him looking like he was going to be so good, and he is really good. And even though he's not a rookie, I felt walking into the second year for him, it felt a lot like a rookie season. Jalen Royals, I could take Royals right here. He's not bad. But I felt like Whittington felt like a rookie to me because he didn't get a chance last year, and he had a wide open door. And then as soon as they brought in Adams and they signed Tutu Atwell to an extension, it's like, oh my God, like Whittington's, like the shot he had was just ripped out right from under him. So I don't know. It's hard to say whether it's Bond, whether it's Jalen Royals, whether it's Jaden Higgins. And I think that we're so far, their landing spots are so volatile that late because anyone could draft them. It's kind of like we're just running in circles. I like Kyle Williams a lot. He just got drafted in this draft. I like Kyle Williams a lot. He's solid. He could be one of the gems of the wide receiver class. He really could be. Kyle Williams and Jaden Higgins are probably my two favorites.
Yeah, Higgins has been moving up a little. I see him actually moving ahead of Trey Harris in a lot of mock drafts.
Yeah, and I like Trey Harris, but again, situation.
I like Trey Harris.
Situation. Yeah. I mean,
then, like you said, landing spot, because like you get guys like Io Manor who like some games he just looks amazing, and then others he didn't show up much. And then a guy like Savion Williams, 6'5", 225, he's a monster. And
Niner fans want Savion Williams a lot.
Kind of slow 40, but what?
The Niner community's liking Savion Williams a lot. That's what I keep saying. Yeah. They think they can get everybody, though. They're like, hey, should we go after Sam Darnold? I remember when I heard that. Should we go get him again?
Yeah.
Yeah, as if he's going to go be a backup somewhere. Guy had the world on a silver platter. He's like, I can go here to start. I could go here to start. And the Niner fans are going, should we take him? Should we take him as our backup or no? Should we bring Aaron Rodgers in right now and back up Brock Purdy? Or do you think he'd rather go start somewhere else?
Be a privilege to back up.
Or when anybody gets cut, the Niner fan base, every Niner content creator out there is like, should we go after him? It's like every single time.
Coming to the Niners. Yeah.
Should we take him?
Then they're so quick to just dump players once they're gone, like Debo. He's dead to the fan base.
Yeah, Debo sucks. That's what they say. All right, we'll see you later, Travis. Tomorrow?
Yeah. Yep, thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.
I'll pick this next pick, and then I won't make you sit through my last pick in round 20, but I'll hit the Jeanty video on the way out the door. Appreciate all of you being in here tonight. How many we got in the total building here today? We got about 200 total people from X and YouTube. If you're on X, make sure you go subscribe to my YouTube channel, because you will want to be on there, because I don't always go live on X, and you're just going to miss out if you don't. So make sure you get on over there and do it live. Appreciate you all. Let's go back to the board view until we swing around to my next pick. Higgins is going to ball. Reminds me of Puka, says BBQ. Yeah, I like Higgins a lot. But situation, it will make Kyle Williams better than Higgins, or Higgins better than Kyle Williams, or Higgins could be better than Ted McMillan in the right spot. What if Higgins goes to I don't know. Let's look at it. What if Higgins goes to Denver or something? You know, that'd be great. Higgins would have a great shot. I like Sutton, but I mean, that's a great opportunity. He could be the number one there in Denver if he wanted to, if he's special. I could see the Colts taking him, not here necessarily, but second round. Kyle Williams could go to Denver and become the star. You know, Chargers could make one of these guys their number two. Packers could take one of them and they rise up. Yeah, Commanders could take Kyle Williams. Yeah, I mean, and just let him kind of mature a little bit late in the season, and then one of McLaurin or Debo starts to fade next year, and takes him maybe 2 years, but then he comes in and he's fire, absolute straight fire. Yeah, buddies. All right, thank you, Mod Crew. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Space Ricky. Thank you, Blackbeard. Thank you, DeBalt. Thank you, Vampy, if you're in here. Thank you, who else am I forgetting? Damn it. Blackbeard, Space Ricky, DeBalt, Travis, Sick Nasty. Is Sick Nasty here tonight? I think he's here tonight. Sick Nasty, Vampy, Terry Roberts, Kenny Powers. I think I got them all. But yes, definitely Sick Nasty. Sick Nasty, you out here? Doing it live? God, I can't queue anybody. I queued 4 players and it's all gone. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done it in front of you. I should have did it on my phone. Because now they're all gone. Let's go Noah Gray. All right, guys, appreciate you. Here's the Jeanty video. Do it live.
Hey, are you currently sitting at home and wondering, why am I such a loser? Why do I not know how to get chicks? Well, there is a solution. Draft Ashton Jeanty in your upcoming fantasy football drafts, and you'll immediately start growing hair on your chest. Those little testicles of yours will finally drop, and even though you still live in your mom's basement, you're going to immediately start getting hot chicks, all because you drafted Ashton Jeanty. Now, do you want to be this guy? Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a hot pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick. Or this guy. Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Jeanty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Jeanty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks. Alright, put down the Hot Pocket Petrified PETA and start smashing Jeanty ADP, and watch less Thundercats reruns and more of the Fantasy Football Show with Smitty, you bozo.
Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Additionally, live whenever big news breaks. I'll see you all tomorrow. Do it live. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you, Justin Rush, for the super chats. The $20 hauler, the $5 hauler. Everybody else, appreciate you. BBQ Singer, appreciate you.